This video is for business leaders who have team members or who are themselves struggling with something new. Have you ever felt or been incompetent? The truth is, I guarantee you have, as have I and any other human being alive. We all have, whether we remember it or not, or admit it or not. Incompetence, such as with this little cute guy here, is the definition, the very definition of beginning with something new. And yet, for some reason in our society, we assume that people should start with skill, and that's not the reality at all. So essentially, the problem is adults, or actually anyone over 5 or 6 years old, starts to forget that we all started from zero. We all sucked at everything until we didn't. So watch to the end of this video for bonus material on 3 strategies for building habits of excellence and mastery. And a recommended video called Mindset Without Action is a Dream. So in the currently popular and completely unscientific self-esteem before effort culture, it's hard to remember a time when effort preceded success, or that it was expected that effort came first and success followed. And yet, in truth, that has always been the case, is still the case, and always will be the case. And honestly, that's how it should be. Really, they found that the self-esteem causes success was a mistake, not a mistake in judgment, an actual mistake in the scientific method. They got it backwards. Turns out that success causes self-esteem, not the opposite. So I remember the last time I sucked at something because it was not only yesterday, but kind of today. On my last take of this video, I forgot to turn on my microphone. Is that incompetence? Not really, but it means I have to redo it. So yesterday I was working on something and I was proud because I'd spent the whole time working hard all day long, making some web pages. And it was new stuff that I'd never worked with before, but I was pretty proud of it. And then I did a call with my marketing coach and sort of a web expert coach. And she pointed out I could have done it far simpler in a fraction of the time, but I didn't know. So it's a perfect example of, am I incompetent at putting web pages together? Along the continuum from completely incompetent to completely excellent, much closer to the first. We all suck. We all fall down. We all start at any skill we have. We start out poorly because it's new to us. Sorry about that. My mouse wasn't scrolling. So anyone who has raised kids could tell you better than I, but I'd guess babies or toddlers all fall down a lot when they first learn how to walk. If that assumption is wrong, please let me know in the comments, because I don't have kids. I've never raised kids. So I don't know for sure. But if we assume that that is true, and we transplanted the attitude towards mistakes that most adults have into babies, our whole society would still be crawling. We'd wear knee and hand shoes so that we could get around without wearing our palms or our knees out. And we'd spend our whole lives living about 2 feet off the ground. Fortunately, babies and toddlers and young kids know that they suck at everything, know they're poor at everything, or almost everything, and they're perfectly okay with it. Even if they sometimes cry out of frustration, or when they try something and they fail. They just cry it out if that's how they feel, and then they get back to it. They try again. And because of that, we are all a society of walkers rather than crawlers. So now if we could reverse that and transplant the attitude of your average toddler learning to, or baby learning to walk into adults, amazing things would happen. All humans of all ages above about 5 years would sometimes fail, but they'd also try again and again and again until they mastered, or at the very least became proficient or quite well skilled at everything they tried. That's the mastery habit mindset. So to recap, we all suck, are completely are completely incompetent at everything when we start, period. No exceptions. But as we age and educate, we learn the quitter mindset of, if I'm not good at it immediately, I'm not talented at it, so I'll quit, or so I quit. We learn that mostly in school, but I think there's a lot more going on there. So all of the most successful people in history, and including and up to the present day, have more like a toddler's or true beginner's mindset, or mastery habit or master habit or excellence habit mindset. And it's sort of like this. Of course I suck at this. I just started. Why would I be good at this? I've never done it before. I haven't done it. I've only done it for 100 minutes or 100 days, or maybe even 100 months. So I'm not all that good at it yet. So feel free to use softer words than suck, but the point is still the same. We, by definition, start everything we start from this age onward by being bad at things and failing oftentimes many times, though we forget it or ignore it. And by the time we reach adulthood, we are like crybabies. We really are. We're like crybabies that we're upset with ourselves. We feel stupid and incompetent and frustrated if we don't get something we've just done for the first time. In the first, a book I'm reading right now or listening to right now suggests in the first 4 seconds, if people don't feel smart, they start to lose motivation. Is that true? I don't know, but think about it. In a website or an application, pretty close. I know if I can't understand something really quickly, I just move on because I think it's time efficient. But it also means I don't know what to do. I feel at least a little bit dumb, a little bit incompetent. So if there's an app that I can use that I immediately feel good about, I immediately feel smart, I'll use that app instead. Simple as that. So for most of the parts of skill acquisition, or most of the parts where we learn any new skill, we are all, especially as adults, very self-consciously incompetent. But suck it up, buttercup. Everyone who's good at anything went through the dip or struggle of and kept going until they succeeded. Kind of like me with my words today. But they kept going until they succeeded, period. No exceptions. So thank you for watching this far. We're on to the bonus material now, and that is 3 strategies for building mastery habits or habits of excellence. And they are, number 1, create daily habits. Practice it daily, or as I've said many times now, daily, every weekday, but every day is even better. Grow those habits in an intentional way. That is usually through something called deliberate practice, which, if you don't know what that is, it's just practicing where you focus on your mistakes and how to improve them. I can put a link in the description. And when you're doing that, do it in a deliberate way and train to focus on progress, not perfection. Even if it comes slowly, focus on moving forward and getting better rather than being great, because great usually takes 10,000 hours or so or more. So the third one is set clear visions or destinations. And by visions or destinations, I mean, say, I want to be the founder of a social enterprise using solar energy technologies. That's a real long-term destination for me. So set something that is at the very least years away, maybe 10 years, 20 years, 50 years away, depending on your age and what it is, so that you know which direction you're heading. The idea of this is very simple. You're doing this so that as you move towards that big, big goal, that destination, that vision, you can always adjust your direction. If you want to go from here in Amagasaki City to Tokyo, I know I have to head north because that's the direction of Tokyo. Could I get lost or take the wrong train? Sure. But if I knew where I wanted to end up, I could adjust along the way to eventually get there. It's the same for any goal. It's the same for anything you want to do in your life, of course. So that's it for that. Essentially, have a strong, clear destination so you can adjust along your path as you gain that skill, that excellence, or that mastery. And the recommended video for today is called Mindset Without Action is a Dream. I will put the link right there and in the description. And finally, I have a gift for you, a downloadable PDF based on the same subject we covered in the bonus material today. And so what it helps you do is grow your mastery or excellence in skill. You can do this by downloading my Mastery Habits Guide, which goes further into the 3 points I made in that bonus material. And I'll put that link in the description. This has been Crush It Club 275. We all started from zero. We all fall down. My name is Tim D. Green. Bye for now.